through the roof right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that they're going to earn a lot of money leaving money in the bank.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You can do that. You can earn some of that money, and it's all well and good, and you're having a great time because you've earned £12.50 off your money in the last 6 years or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But we're thinking about, like, what should you actually do with a lump sum, and where do you want your life to go in the future?
Legs on your table. If you have one leg holding up your table, right, that one leg is your income from your 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
It's not very stable. Take away that income, table collapses.
Done.
If you have 4 legs, quite a stable table.
Yeah.
Should you lose one leg of that table, it's still quite a stable table. It will survive. If you have 6 legs, 8 legs on just a little square table, you're very stable table. That's not going anywhere.
Solid table.
We are finding success, and we're here to help break that monotony of your life and help you find your own version of success. Welcome back to another episode, guys, with me, Alex.
And me, Adam. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, good. How was your week? Since I completely forgot to ask you last week, I do apologise.
So it was all right. So we didn't actually go into it last.
No,
we were talking about my dilemma over the weekend. But so last week was good. There was a little bit of travel. I was in Europe for a few days, then came back and had a few days in the UK, and it was all right. The trip away was nice.
Yeah.
Managed to keep on top of the small things that we try and keep on reading, meditating, all those sorts of things. Then back in the UK, smashing it. Gym 6 o'clock every morning. Loved it. I'm in a similar position to you.
Oh,
because you know, a few weeks ago now, you're saying you're just loving the routine. You're getting into the work. You're enjoying the work.
Yeah.
I'm now in love with my routine.
Yeah.
Like the days. So when I'm traveling, and I'm not getting up early and smashing gym in the morning. They just don't feel the same.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's lacking a little bit of zazz. Pizzazz. But so I've had a good week. What about yourself? How was your week? Yeah,
to be fair, good mate. Some of you, I've been travelling a little bit back now, and like I said, just generally fall in love with the routine, loving it. Yeah. I've kind of found the new love for lifting. I like lifting.
Yeah.
I like lifting weights, but compound.
Yeah. Squats,
deads, chest.
Yeah.
Just the 4 or 5 big compound lists. I love it.
Pushing yourself to that final rep.
Just that big, like, there's something, again, we spoke about toxic masculinity last week, but I find something very masculine is when slam on 2 plates, and then you do 3, and then you go for the 4th, but you fail, but it doesn't matter. I just love slamming on weights, and it's just like, getting it done. Like, you just feel very masculine about doing that. It's a very masculine thing, isn't it? So
I'm quite lucky. I've got a little training partner I do train with in the morning, and we're doing shoulders, and we warm up with miniature press with a barbell, just get out,
repping out
40, 50 kilos, whatever, just repping out. And then we've gone to dumbbells, and I haven't done dumbbells in a long time. Just shoulder press, just standard, no like army press, just standard shoulder press.
Yeah,
I hadn't done it in such a long time. I was a bit not nervous, but I was a bit open to doing a lower weight. I was like, I'll just do some chilled, relaxed weights, pick up the little dingers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I picked up. I think it was 22s to begin with. I was like, whoa, that's quite heavy. That was tough. But I was like, no, come on, don't be a little boy. Let's do another. Just go up a dumbbell. Yeah. I did the exact same amount of reps, and it felt exactly the same. I was like, oh, that was actually really good. I felt good. So I was like, well, screw it. I'll go up again. I'll see how much it takes me to fail. Got up over 10 kilos more from the 22s. I got to 32 kg dumbbells before I started going, whoa, that was hard.
Yeah.
And it was only because my training partner was helping me push as well, giving me the confidence to be able to do it. But I was just slacking. And just the gains I made in that, the pump I got, or like, not pump because I got a physical pump, yes, but like the emotional boost I got from just doing that, just pushing myself, just seeing how far I could go was just wicked. It was a great start to the day.
Yeah, I love that.
Bah.
Training partners are so valuable. Like, I mean, the guy I trained with, it's a very similar situation. He would really light on chest, and he was just, I like to do the movement and the flow. I'm like, yeah, mate, it's fine. Here's 24s, try these. And he's like, he couldn't, like, he would do it, like, so we'd do 16s or whatever, and he was comfortable doing 16s, 17s. Right. I'll pull out the 22s. Obviously, when you're swinging back on doing, like, dumbbell fucking chest presses, excuse me, it's quite hard because you have to swing stuff back and then press the weights up. And he's not a physically strong upper-bodied bloke. So he'd do the one and I'd place the other weight on top of him. Just to ease getting into it. But then he's fine. Yeah. He's fine with repping out. He can do 12 reps. And then like onto incline chest press with a barbell. Exactly the same thing. Like he thinks, just lightweight, nice and lightweight, and I want to control him. Yeah, mate, it's great to get the technique. You need to get the form. When you've got the form, bang the weights on. Now we've got the form, we're banging 15, 20s on and we're going for it now. We're talking some weight. But it's just such an important thing to have a training partner that's there to push you. Like, it's a good...
Spot on. It takes you out of your comfort zone. He's comfortable
Doing
that lightweight, getting the stretch, the pump, all that, very gradual. And that's exactly what we were doing, stuck in the lightweight dumbbells, doing shoulder press. We were just stuck being comfortable. It was a strain.
Yeah.
But it was comfortable.
Building the mass, building the muscle, building the memory strength.
We just pushed it there and out of the comfort zones. That's where growth lies.
Yes.
For everything. Right.
Absolutely.
This week, Adam, what are we going to talk about? We're
going to talk about, well, it's a bit of like a free-flowing subject because we all have our own opinions. I want to talk about money or investments / lump sum / what to... So basically, we had a conversation a few weeks ago with what to get into next.
Yeah.
What's the next best thing? And we spoke about NFTs before. We spoke about real estate. We spoke about investing, trading, Forex, classic cars. We spoke about everything. And a lot of people focus on what's next. What's the next big thing? And when you're thinking about starting a company, you think about Amazon dropshipping. It's been all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's such a good thing to do. I'm going to get into it because it just must be the next best thing. And obviously we all know that it's almost like an MLM situation where the person at the top earns the money and they feed down and the little...
They teach one person, they teach another person, they teach another person.
And it just doesn't work.
No.
So we're always looking for the next thing and where to put your money and how to understand it. Obviously interest rates are through the roof right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that they're going to earn a lot of money leaving money in the bank.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You can do that. You can earn some amount of money and it's all well and good and you're having a great time because you've earned £12.50 off your money in the last 6 years or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But we're thinking about like what should you actually do with a lump sum and where do you want your life to go in the future? And it all comes back to planning and goal setting and stuff in some ways, I think. But sometimes we have to sit back and go, realistically, in 5 years' time, in 2 years' time, I've now done the trading thing. It's almost automatic. It's very, very minimal thing. Time. Yeah, you have to sort of develop your edge and investing is the same thing. We're dollar cost averaging. It's just ticking over. We're not worrying about it. It's just involved. But what is the next best thing? What do we want to get into next? And how to decide what to get into. Like, I mean, for instance, how would you decide what to get into next? Planning. It's just thinking about it, isn't
exactly that. You've got to have these conversations. This is why it's quite a good podcast. You won't see this on any other podcast because we're literally going to just discuss this, I guess, now for the next 20 minutes. So, quite openly, who knows? For me, it's all about having fingers in many pies. So, investing, Forex, business ownership.
Multiple things of income.
Multiple pies. I want 6 pies on my table. I want... It's just... what's that saying about the legs on your table? If you have one leg holding up your table, right, that one leg is your income from your 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
It's not very stable. Take away that income, poof, table collapses.
Done.
If you have 4 legs, quite a stable table.
Yeah.
Should you lose one leg of that table, it's still quite a stable table. It will survive. If you have 6 legs, 8 legs on just a little square table, you're a very stable table. That's not going anywhere.
Solid table.
Yeah. You've got many streams of income, and that's the goal for me. Not diversification.
Yeah.
Not just having it in one, like not just having a 9-to-5 earning money. Obviously, we don't want that really. That's not for us, is it? We don't just want one business earning us money. We want multiple forms of income, and they come in all sorts of different shapes, sizes, like we said over time. And one I've been more interested in recently is real estate, bricks and mortar, property.
Yeah.
I think, especially here in the UK, it can be quite a profitable venture.
Absolutely.
And I think it's not something to be missed. I think I want it to be one of my pies, having a real estate portfolio that makes a lot of income. I think that's, it's invaluable. That's what I am not looking into next, but one of the things I'm looking into now. So I've got the investments, got the markets going, still always looking into the next one in there. That's a live creature. That's a bug that doesn't stop growing. You're always constantly looking into that. But it's reasonably passive. You're not doing. It's not 7-8 hours a day.
No.
Spending a few hours a week doing it. You know,
just
it's
looking
not
into it.
huge. Yeah.
The thing I want to talk about property in one way. A lot of people, and this is going to sound really harsh in some ways, a lot of people rely on their parents dying to acquire a property.
Yeah, a lot of people say this.
And like, the way I look at it, I think that's so stupid. Because if your parents live until 90 and you die first, then what happens? You're never going to have a property, are you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, you have to take that out of equation. You have to take inheritance out of equations. You have to take the what ifs out of equations. It's you're on your own. You need to decide what you need to do. And the other thing is, we all know houses are expensive. We all know
Here in the UK.
here in the UK, getting involved in houses is expensive. It's not a cheap game. And in some ways, you are looking for the next step, and we're looking for the next step. And when you're looking for the next step, you've now, and through your own power, your own strength, your own mind, your own willingness to learn, you've developed a skill in investing. And that skill is now rolling over. It's free. That pie is done. You've now got two, 3 legs on your table. You're looking for a fourth. At the same time, you've developed a lot of income from those things. Those income streams are just ticking over now. You know, I mean, it's very, very easy flowing for you. So this is the additional step.
Yeah.
Now you've got the following, the backing to go, I can do this. This is a possibility for me. It's opened the door to another freedom, another find. And what a lot of people don't understand is that they don't do that. They don't look for opportunities. They wait for opportunities to come to them. And with inheritance, stuff like that, that's great. It's going to happen at some point. And it probably is, it probably isn't. I mean, I don't have any family or not much family, so it's not going to happen to me. It's not a problem it's not a thing that I can have. It's not a, what do you call it? It's not a luxury that I can have. I have to go and find it, and you're the same. You have to go and find that situation. People can't rely on that, and I think that's so stupid if they do, because it's just... But all I'm saying is you have to find your own wealth and your own income and your own pie to put your finger in, basically.
Yeah, I love where you're going with that.
It's like you have to do it. So now you've got that experience, you've got that knowledge, you understand the feeling, the pain, the power, the process, the thing it has to work, how it works, and what to look in for and how to learn. It's going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy for you to learn. But a lot of people that don't have that option, that don't think they're the option, they don't want to know.
Going back to those people waiting for the inheritance and
Yeah,
stuff.
go on.
There's a lot of people out there that don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
There is. But there are also, at the same time, a lot of people that do have that luxury.
Mm.
And we know one young lad who's waiting for his nan to die, and I'll get a little bit of money off that. And for me, that's a massive red flag of I will never go into business with that man.
Yeah.
Because he's waiting for a handout. He's just sat there. He's not going to do any work for himself. He's not going to do any leg work. He's not going to get hot, sweaty and uncomfortable. He's just going to wait for his handout. He's going to sit there on his sofa, get fat, wait for his handout.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's a real shame, because his whole potential is just letting it flee. He goes, oh, I know I've got a handout coming. I don't need to do anything.
Just going to sit and wait.
And it's disgusting. Like you said, you need to go out, you need to cook your own pies, make them. You, one, appreciate them a lot more when it happens. Like, how many people... You heard the story of the bloke who won the lottery? Millions and millions. He's a British lad.
Okay.
Millions. He was a binman.
Oh, I think I have, yeah.
And he made it bit like...
It was like 60, 50 million or something.
Yeah,
it
was
was a
huge.
big lump.
Life-changing money. He's sorted for life.
Yeah.
And the bloke, I think it was not even 2 years. It was all gone. Because he bought the Lambos, he bought the drugs, he bought the women, bought the houses.
Yeah. Bought the holidays, the helicopters, the private planes, everything.
And within 18 to 24 months, gone. He's back to being a binman.
Yeah.
And it's all because he didn't earn it.
Yeah.
He didn't do the hard work, didn't do the hard graft, he didn't really appreciate what it was. He just saw red and just went for it. Yeah. And I feel like if you cook your own pies, you're going to be better off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, on the other side of the stick, it terrifies me. If you go back to like one of the very first episodes, one of my motivations for doing all this is my parents dying. Yeah. Or them getting old and you having to look after them. Yeah. This is very common these days because we are getting older. We're living for longer.
We are, yeah.
Because of modern medicine doing wonders. And it's amazing, but also we're putting the human body is not built to live to 100 years old. No. We're wilting away and we're unable to do certain things. So you do need care for the elderly. Yeah. and that costs a fortune. So now a lot of what's happening these days is these elderly people have finished their mortgage. Their mortgage is paid for, done, house is theirs. People have realised this, so they're starting out like care homes.
Yeah.
And what they do is they basically sell the house and they use the house money to pay for the care home. So even if you think you're sat on your parents on a lovely house, you're going to be amazing, so on and so forth, like you're going to come into 500 grand easy. You might have to think again, because they might have to use that money for a care home.
Yeah.
For later life. Like it's not necessarily yours. It's not a given. It's not guaranteed. So don't sit around waiting for that to happen. Assume that will not happen. Assume you are on your own. You have to make it yourself.
Yeah.
And you'll be you will just do so much better.
Yeah.
And I think you'll appreciate everything more.
Do you know what? I love that. It's like, and this is not to talk down on anyone that has grown up in a very popular, wealthy background of their parents and life and whatever. But I think there's almost a direct link with people that have been born into wealth, don't know the struggle of their parents to gain wealth. They can see the luxury, they can see the Rolex, they can see the Bentley, they can see the Land Rover, the Range Rover, the big house, and so on and so forth, and they go, that's my standard of life. And they just hope that they can either, one, continue the business, or two, their parents sells the business for a massive amount of money and they live off that
Sorted for life.
wealth. Yeah. What happens when they have a kid? Because they're not now generating any money. They're spending the money. They've got a kid. They've got a wife. Say they're spending $1 million a year. They've got 10 million. You cover it for 10 years. Mega. What happens after that 10th year? They've got no business. They've got no pies. They've got no money. What are they going to do? And I think it's almost relatable in some ways that as a parent, you have to teach your kid to have a struggle. And we spoke about it last week. Struggling is building an easy life. We have to struggle to build an easy life. We have to be uncomfortable. I'll tell you a story in a minute. It happened today, but I'm not going to tell you yet. Don't want to ruin it. But yeah, we have to struggle to understand how hard life can be, how hard we have to work, because if we do, then we know how easy it is to make money. Because it's easy to make money. We all know that we can sit at home now on the internet and make money. People, your dad, my dad, didn't have that option.
No.
They had to go out physically do something or sell something or produce an idea or make an idea or work for someone to make some money. We can just sit at home and do it. We can sit at home and...
The amount of people doing that
Yeah.
these days is unbelievable.
Exactly. And they've got it's so easy to do, but people don't want to do it because they're relying on their parent or relying on their mother or father or whatever it is. I don't know. But you have to go and find your own pies, as you said, to make that pie, to see it cooking in the oven, to put the filling in it, the ham, the gravy. But to do it all and to see the finished product, it tastes so much better than it does buying a pucker pie from Tesco's. Do you know what I mean? It just 100%. The whole process.
I want to go back a little bit. You were talking
process over outcome.
Lovely. I want to go back a little bit. You were talking about the hardship. I think trauma shapes a man. It'll either kill him or make him stronger.
Yeah,
mold him. And I think when you're shapen by trauma, it strengthens you, doesn't it? You become a stronger man.
So a sink or swim situation.
Yeah, and being that stronger man gives you. I'm not talking physically. I'm talking mentally. You know, it gives you an edge. It gives you almost a personal confidence, resilience against negativity, or resilience against obstacles and outcomes that could deter you, like a big loss in the market, or you've split up with your missus, or anything like that. You normally you build up a resistance to dealing with those sorts of things constantly in life. Whereas if you've had I'm not saying like it is. I'm saying it's actually a bit of a disadvantage not to be exposed to trauma in a way.
Yeah.
While it's horrendous, trauma is horrendous in that, I think sometimes it can make you a stronger person and accelerate your life, because you know how hard it can be, you know how hard it's going to be, so that's your motivation, your fear to get away from that, almost using fear as a motivator in a way.
There's a vegans, animal activists. Put your headphones in, turn it on, turn it off, and then turn it back on about 5 minutes time. There was a study done on mice, and they were put in a container with a very high top. They couldn't jump out. 15 seconds and they gave up. They just drowned.
Realise it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got water in the container.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll swim. I can't get out. I'll give up and die.
Oh.
10 seconds, they're looking around. They got picked out. Day came later, they were put back in. They swum for 16 hours the next day.
No.
Yes. Because the mind goes, eventually something's going to come in and pick me out and I'll be fine. So it just goes to show not only mental, physically we can endure the pain. We know that we can endure the pain. We know how much pain we can go through. The body is amazing. But mentally, if we can't see an out, if we haven't been in that situation before, if we don't know that we're going to be okay to decide, then we roll over and give up.
That's mad, isn't it?
That is mad.
That is mad. Isn't there a story about a guy who unfortunately died in the fridge? Or it was a freezer. It was a lock-in freezer or something.
Okay.
Got shut in the freezer and died. No one knew he was in there, so I think it was an accident. But they worked out he should have survived. Wasn't cold enough to kill him in the period of time that he was in there for. It's just, I think, mentally it was too taxing. And
do you know what? And it's, again, we're going back to this thing now. So it's a bit sad, but there's an old couple. The story is an old couple, and it's a very common trait. It's in Tony Robbins' book. He speaks about it openly. It's a very common trait that when one person dies and has been together for such a long time, it's very, very common for the other person to die within 2 years, because they have nothing to live for anymore. They have none of that drive, none of that passion, none of that I have a life here. If they don't see a life, they don't see a future, they just roll over and die because they have nothing to live for. And it's so sad that we look at our lives in that way, that once a bad trauma has happened, my life's over, I don't have to live for anymore, I'm just going to go and kill myself, or I'm ready to roll over and die. Shouldn't be like that. We should always have something to live for. We should always have something to work towards. And it's like Sir John Templeton, very famous investor. Bloke was like 90 years old, and this is the guy that was, I think he lived in the Bahamas, and every day he'd get up and go for a walk in the sea. Because he couldn't exercise, his bones were a bit frail, and it was aching, but he wanted to go up and do something every day. And this bloke worked for years and years. Warren Buffett, 99, or Charlie Munger, 99, out there every single day, probably working harder than people at the age 19, 20, 25-year-olds now, just out there, out the market, smash out, because they enjoy what they do. They have passion. They love it. Warren Buffett's wife died. His ex-wife died. He's had like a hard life, but every day he's getting up. He's going to Mackey's. He's drinking a Coke, and he's just doing He's doing his thing. Like, he has a life.
So he has a higher purpose, doesn't he? That's the thing.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
Higher purpose. Yeah. That is what you said it perfectly. Higher purpose is important.
But then, so we've gone off investing a little bit, but this interested me the other day. So you know how modern day, I was going to say feminism, but modern day females are very focused on their careers.
Yeah,
and it's actually becoming a thing where we're having babies later. As a population worldwide,
it's common.
Females are having babies later. They're reproducing later, into their 30s, deep into their mid 30s, and it's not really an issue, but population is decreasing.
Yeah,
and it's all because, well, the reason the women are having babies later, the majority of women having babies later, is because they're so focused on their career, thinking the career is what they need. They've been told to be strong, independent females. They go out and do what you want to do, like don't listen to society, be this whole kitchen thing, which is right. I think they should go and do what they want to do. Yeah. But because of that, we're sort of missing the whole point. Our instinct as a human, base layer is to reproduce.
Yeah,
it's just what we're here to do, and more people aren't doing this. Males as well. They're choosing careers and so on and so forth, being their purpose.
Yeah.
And there was a lovely lady who died not too long ago. She had about 35 people around her, her kids, their partners, and so on and so forth. But all of the life in that room came from her, essentially. All these kids and the kids and the kids. It's just all her. And she died very happily, like around love and support and just amazing people. Whereas if you weren't to have done any of that, you weren't to have any kids, you're just going to, unfortunately, you will just die on your own, either with a partner, or your partner's going to die first and you will then die on your own. Yeah. It's going to be one way or the other. And it's quite a brutal way of living. So while I feel like we need a higher purpose, at the same time, we also need to fulfill our nature's destiny and reproduce and have some love and family and so on and so forth. And I think a lot of people do that as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because
they do.
You see many successful businessmen with families and stuff, but I think sometimes nowadays families overlooked more than it was back in back just 100 years ago.
We take family for granted massively nowadays. We do. It's like a second or third on our priorities list. It's like family. They're always going to be there. And the same with the Queen. Some people thought the Queen would live forever. It's not true.
No,
it doesn't. People don't live forever. We have to realise that. So appreciate them.
Yeah.
Going back to the pies.
Yeah, go on in.
Investing. Yeah, we have to figure out. How we want to go into and what we want to go into. We spoke about this before.
Yep.
How do you do that? You just think of what interests you. What is your love? What is your passion? Is there anything that you want to get into? To start off with, we're talking about the bare bones here. We're talking about like the first step into income. The first step into income is finding something that we want to get into. Secondly, once we've done that, then we can look at things that are more passive. Things that require some time, but it's something in your arsenal of weapons that you think is a great thing to have. Not necessarily the first choice, but the second choice is great. It's what we need to have. And I think eventually when we get going, we do things that are great choices for us, but also great business decisions, things that we can see a future in, things that we can not necessarily have a love for, but we want to get involved in. I think that is where you are now. You've done the things that you love, and now you're doing the things that you want.
Yep, spot on.
You're having a crossover.
Yeah, I love that. You've to start with, you need to find something you find fun and exciting to be able to create some form of income to replace your current one.
Yeah.
When you get to that point, that starts generating more and more income. You can then expand and build on top of that, and that's the key. Never to stop building.
No.
Because again, we need as many legs in the table as possible. So spot on. Do something you find fun and exciting and so on, and then you can expand into the boring bits like real estate.
Yeah.
And Forex or something you find less exciting.
Car deals or wine or whatever.
Whatever it may be, that's the next few pies. They don't have to be as exciting because you've got your fun here. You can always dip your toe back into and have fun with it again. The rest are purely strategic positions.
I want to talk about one person. We brought him up before, Jocko Willink, last episode. So he started off, he left the military, retired, out, and obviously when you leave, you have really nothing. You have skills in the military. You can shoot a gun, you can kill people, you can do this and that. But one thing you do have is management and discipline. So you started a consulting company. It wasn't a consulting company to start off with. He was just going to companies and saying, look, you need to discipline your people like this. This is how you work. Workers, come and I'll do a chat. He goes, I can make some money out of this. This is quite good. I'll start Echelon Front, which is his company. And he brought on a person in the Air Force, which was involved in Top Gun, which you all know is the highest, bestest.
It's good films.
Yeah, great films.
Both of
them. But we all know it's the place where you go to learn high-tier flying skills. Them two started a business, got it running, it's going really well. Then he thought, this is great, but I need some energy. I need some energy drinks here. I need something, and I don't like drinking these other energy drinks because some are bad for you. I'm going to create my own. So he went and created his own energy drink. Jocko Go. Wow, this is good stuff. Why not create a protein line as well? So he started creating protein lines.
Has he?
Yeah. So then he's got something called Mulk, which is very, very great in protein. And he goes, this is great. I've got my own protein. I've got energy giving me to feed my mind and to get me going with this. I'll start a podcast. So we ain't done the podcast. So I've got a podcast. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got this. I've got that. I've got 5 pies now. What else can I do? Well, I need something to help me with my joints. So then he created a vitamin. It's called Joint Warfare. So he's now doing that. He goes, right. I want some clothes. I want to put some clothes on my back. I'll just go and start a clothing company. So he started Origin, which is a jean company. And
I didn't know this.
Then he said, right, I've got some jeans now, but I haven't got anything to wear on the top. They're going to find a company that makes shirts. Then we start something called a shirt locker, which is something that you subscribe to.
No way.
So every single month, you pay a certain amount of money and you get a shirt every single month.
No way.
This is great. I do jiu-jitsu quite heavily. I'd like to make some jackets. So now he's making jiu-jitsu jackets.
Oh, no way.
So he's got the podcast. He's got, obviously, his own gym. He's got the clothing company, the boots. He makes walking boots as well and hunting gear. He
Supplements.
makes supplements. He makes
Energy drinks.
energy drinks consultant company.
Consultation.
So he's got like all of these things going on. Social media, being another income source of income. So he's got like 8, 9 pies going on here. But these are things that he just.
So he's created businesses off something that he needs. He's
Exactly.
found his own need. He's
Yeah.
gone, I need this. I need better quality protein, need better quality energy drinks. This is what I'm going to create. And he's put it out to the masses and it's worked for him because he has got a following already.
Yes.
But it's fantastic because they're almost all passion projects. Because
Yes.
and that's the best way. It's because you're going to be your most creative, your most productive, your most just. It's going to be the best business for you if you're that passionate about something. If it's almost solving your own problem, it's going to be a world apart from starting a wooden, boring consultancy firm where you don't get
Sawmill.
It's just not the same. It's doing something that you're passionate about is the goal. That's what should be number one. And like he's done, he's just built on top of those passions and he's gone, I need this. And he's boom, found a need. Because chances are, if you have this need,
Yeah.
there are millions like you across the world.
Absolutely.
They're going to need the same.
Yeah.
And if not, there's hundreds of thousands in the same countries that need the same. And people keep thinking they need an Amazon, they need a Google, they need a Facebook business to become this wealthy people.
The next best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you really don't. To be able to support an income, you need 100 dedicated followers
Yeah.
that will buy these things off you. And you keep giving them content. That's all you need to be able to really. That will definitely just swap out your income.
Yeah.
That'll overcome your income. So you don't necessarily think too big. Same as here in Blighty. What's his name? Ben Francis starting Gymshark. Just out of his garage. Did his own. He just had a passion for the gym.
Yeah.
Started a little cult of people that enjoyed doing the gym as well. Sold these t-shirts to him, and just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And yes, he had fantastic marketing and so on. But that comes after the passion.
Yeah. Yeah. The passion's where it lies.
Yeah.
Craig Ritchie.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Exactly. Traveling the world, business class, because of his passion.
Yeah.
Following his passion. It's so key.
Jocko.
Yeah.
Charlie.
And it takes years.
Oh,
We're not selling a dream. Not just go and find your passion and do it now. It takes years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because it's your passion, you don't mind doing it for so long.
No. Exactly. Because it's a passion, you don't mind waking up, doing it day in, day out. It's not hard. It's easy. You like helping people. You like producing something. You like designing something. You want to make your life better. You want to make your life easier. You want to create a piece of software that makes your job easier. Go and do it. But just take your time with it. Believe that you can do it and go and do it. Simple as that. It's not hard. It really isn't hard. Anything else to add?
No, I'm good, man.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, links will be down below. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and share. Help this podcast so we can help the world. Have a good weekend, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Success is available for everybody, so why should you settle for less?